Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be checking out this new Fifine M9 wireless lav mic. And we're going to be seeing how it sounds, how it is to use, and if I think you should pick one up. All that soon to come, but if you guys could please hit those like and subscribe buttons before we get started, that would really help me out as a small channel. And with all that out of the way, let's get into this. So, starting off strong, what even is this thing? So it's a wireless lavalier mic kit. So it comes with both a big carrying case, the tiny carrying case, and then the mics and the receiver. And then also the adapters that let the receiver convert to either USB-C or variations of 3.5mm jacks. So basically it should be compatible to output the audio to pretty much whatever you want. The mics also include dead cats if you're out in windy conditions, and you can also use the noise cancellation. However, I really wouldn't do that, and I'm going to get a little bit into that later. But that's pretty much an overall overview of what that thing is. As for how they sound, well, pretty much all you'll need to do is watch this video because the entire thing has been shot on these microphones, and I will have a boom mic overhead and we're going to do a comparison here in a little bit, but that's pretty much how it sounds. I think that it sounds pretty clear most of the time. I will say though, this is kind of the big downside for these things. The mics using noise cancellation really struggle. It sounds like you're underwater and muffled and terrible. And yeah, that's my hot take. I will turn it on here now so you guys kind of get an idea of what it sounds like. Okay, so now the microphone is in noise cancellation mode. I will say that I don't really have any background noise going on right now, so it's not really canceling a whole lot. But at the same time, I mean, you can probably tell from how my voice sounds, even with no actual background noise, it's pretty brutal to listen to. So admittedly, it is here, but even if it did a great job of canceling noise out, the end result's so pitiful that I really wouldn't even bother turning it on. Let me turn it back off now. I will say other than that though, this kit is pretty awesome. That is like the one major downside. The microphones are all USB-C rechargeable individually, so even if you lose the carrying case or just don't bother bringing it with you, it's completely fine. Or you can use the carrying case itself because it charges and has a little battery indicator on the bottom. You can use that to charge everything. That's the thing. This system is super easy to use. There's basically no setup. You can actually even adjust the volume levels individually for the two different microphones if one person's talking louder or in a different location. And they also come with little dead cats if you're in a windy situation. Like, the usability of this thing is really excellent. And even I think the audio quality is, I'd say, a substantial step up from what you would get internally from the camera or your phone. So if you're looking for a little bit of a step up, this may be a good idea, especially in the audio recording world. You can start by spending a lot of money, and it does get very expensive very fast, and you do get diminishing returns. However, as this thing I think is only 60 bucks on Amazon right now, it's a substantial step up from just like the internal camera mic. And I think that if that's what you're looking for, this would be a pretty solid option. I will say that there are some weird nuances that I'm not a huge fan of, like the noise cancellation, and then also the camera little clips and all the things have little teeth in them, and I think that could probably break some of your clothing, or it does grip on really well. And the other cool part is for the receiver unit, it clips into the top of a camera's hot shoe, and that's a really cool feature because it lets you really elegantly wire the whole setup, and also if you're on the move, makes it super easy. As for the battery life, it does last a substantial amount of time. It should definitely take a full day of shooting, and then when you get home, all you gotta do is just plug in the case, and you'll probably be good to go by tomorrow. You probably can get at least 2 charges out of it. They're not entirely clear of how long the battery life is on all the different variations and all the different parts. I do assume that depends on how you use it and also the environment in which you're using it, because I know battery life, especially with tiny batteries like in these things, do degrade faster when used in colder environments. So that is something to keep in mind. But I think in general, my overall take on this product is that if this is what you're in the market for, it does a fairly good job. I'm sure that there will be issues if you try to use the noise cancellation, but as long as you stay away from that, I really think that the product does what it says it does, and that's really all that matters. I will say that make sure you know about the noise cancellation, because originally I had it on and I didn't know what was going on, and I was just like, these things sound terrible. So that is something to worry about. And also, just as a comparison, I'm gonna use the audio from the boom mic just as a comparison to the audio on these things, so you guys do get a little bit of an idea of what it sounds like. But I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. I've tried to make this video a couple times and I just kept having weird setup issues. So I will say that is something to keep in mind, especially because you probably won't notice that the audio is wrong until you get back and look at it when you're editing. So that is something to make sure you do correctly at the beginning. It's not really on these things, it's just more of me not paying attention enough probably. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. If you guys could hit those like and subscribe buttons, I would really appreciate that. And with all that out of the way, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.